Hi guys, it's Miss Raposa. Today we are working on day 2 in the note packet. And in the box up top, if you could take a moment and fill in your formulas, double angle, half angle, and sum and difference. Just pause the video and fill those in, please, and unpause when you're finished. Okay, problem number 1 says cosine of inverse tan of 3/4. Inverse tan, the answer is going to be an angle, but I don't know what angle it is. So we're going to call it angle A, and we're going to draw a triangle because I don't know what that is. 3/4 is not on my chart. Inverse tan, I'm allowed to be in quadrant 1 or 4. Because it's positive 3/4, we're going to pick quadrant 1. We're going to draw our triangle in quadrant 1. Label this angle A. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Hypotenuse is 5. Then it says plus inverse sine. The answer to this one is also going to be an angle. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to call it angle B. Let's draw our triangle. Inverse sine, we're allowed to be in 1 or 4. Because this is positive, we are going to pick quadrant 1. Draw your triangle. Label this angle B. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Missing leg is 3. Okay, so what do we really have going on here? Our problem still has this cosine, open parentheses, but all this is replaced with A. And all this is replaced with B. So it's really cosine of A plus B. And then we could use our cosine sum formula. Go ahead and expand it out. Write out your formula. Cosine, cosine. Switch it over to minus. Sine, sine. Okay, take a moment. Just go triangle by triangle and fill in what each of these are. Multiply straight across, getting 12 over 25 minus 12 over 25, which is kind of weird. I get 0. Seems a little bit strange, but that is the answer to the problem. I want you guys to pause the video, and I want you to try problem 2. Unpause when you are finished. Okay, problem 2, I got 63 over 65. Go ahead and try number 3. It's a little bit harder, but see if you can draw it. Try number 3. Unpause when you are finished. Okay, problem 3, I got 7 over 5 root 2. If you did not get that, please look carefully at my triangles and carefully at my work to see where I'm getting this 7 over 5 root 2. Okay, number 4 we're going to do together. Number 4 is sine of 2 inverse cosine negative 3/5. Now that part that I just put blue around is going to be an angle, and I don't know what it is, so I'm going to call it angle A. Okay, let's think about inverse cosine. I could be in 1 or 2. Because this is negative, I'm going to be in quadrant 2. So this time, let's draw our triangle in quadrant 2. This is angle A. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Missing leg is positive 4. All right, so what do we have left? I have the sine. Inside my bracket, I have, look at what we still have here. I still have a 2. And so I'm going to keep that 2 right there. And all the rest of that is going to be A. Okay, what can we do? What formula do you think that we can use here? How about our sine double angle formula? Let's write it out. 2 sine A cosine A. And then use your triangle. The sine of A is 4/5. The cosine of A is -3/5. If it helps you to multiply by putting this 2 over 1, go ahead and do that. Multiply straight across. 2 times 4 is 8, times 3 is -24. On the bottom, I have 25. Okay, so we've used a double angle formula for that one. Let's go to the next page. And on the next page, let's try number 5 together. Inside here, I have an inverse tan of 4/3. It's going to be an angle. I don't know what it is. We'll call it A. We'll make a triangle, just like before. Inverse tan. I can be in 1 or 4. We're going to pick 1. So let's make our triangle. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Hypotenuse is 5. And let's rewrite. We have cosine. What do we have inside that bracket? Don't forget that 2. And then all this stuff can be replaced with A. And now we've got a cosine double angle formula. Expand it out. Cosine squared A minus sine squared A. Let's figure out what the cosine of A is and what the sine of A is. Cosine is 3/5. Sine is 4/5. Don't forget, when you square a fraction, you square the top and the bottom. Keep simplifying. And I'm ending up with -7 over 25. Okay, pause the video and please try number 6. You're going to need your double angle formula. Number 6, 7 over 25. You again needed the cosine double angle formula. Okay, let's try number 7 together. Number 7 says sine squared of 1/2, but this stuff right here is an angle. We'll call it angle A and we'll make a triangle. Quadrant 1. Here's A. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. My missing leg is 3. Look at what's going on here. We have sine squared. We still have 1/2. And all that other stuff is going to turn into A. This looks kind of funny, but really what this is the same thing as the sine of A over 2 and the whole thing squared. This is your sine half angle formula. So the half angle formula is plus or minus the square root of 1 minus the cosine of A all over 2. Now, we still have this squared. That squared is actually going to help us out because it takes this whole thing and it squares it. And why I said it's going to help us out is a square root squared cancels each other out. Also, whenever you square something, it's always positive. So this is really just 1 minus the cosine of A all over 2. And then let's fill out what the cosine of A is. So I have 1 minus the cosine of A is 4/5 all over 2. Let's simplify more. Let's think of 1 as 5/5 minus 4/5 is 1/5 divided by 2. But remember what we could do. We can multiply by the reciprocal and we get 1/10. Okay, try number 8. It is not a half angle. Just press pause and try number 8. Okay, this required 2 triangles. Hopefully when you worked it all out, you were able to get -1. Okay, let's try 9 and 10. Number 9 is going to require 2 triangles. Here I've got triangle for angle A. Let's draw them. Press pause if I'm moving too quickly. Both triangles are in the first quadrant. Okay, this time we have secant on the outside. So I have the secant of A minus B. Now we don't have a secant formula, but secant is the same thing as 1 divided by the cosine. So if I write it like this, we do have a formula for the cosine of a minus b. So keep your work nice and neat. I'm going to expand out the cosine into cosine, cosine. Switch it over to plus, sine, sine. Please keep a bracket around all this stuff because it is 1 divided by all this stuff. Just go triangle by triangle and fill these out. Go ahead and multiply straight across. 48 over 65 plus 15 over 65. I end up with 1 divided by 63 over 65. Since it's 1 divided by that, I'm just going to flip this into 65 over 63. Okay, number 10. Number 10 is a little bit unique because this is an angle and this is an angle. And if I wanted to, I could draw triangles, but I actually know what angle this is. Inverse sine, this is on my chart. Inverse sine, I can be in 1 or 4. I'm going to be in quadrant 1. Look at your reference angle chart. This angle is pi over 3. Inverse cosine, I can be in quadrant 1 or 2. This is actually a special case where I'm on the axis. I want to know where the x-coordinate is 1. And the x-coordinate is 1 at 0 pi. So this angle is 0 pi. So my problem is the sine of pi over 3 plus 0 pi. Now I could expand that out, or I could just say, okay, pi over 3 plus 0 pi is just pi over 3. And if I look at my reference angle chart, the sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Okay, this is the end of video 1. You do have a second video that's short to watch right after this.